It's a kind of a weird one, that track, because we intended to do something weird, and it ended up being literally a £19.99 little Korg monotron delay synth. That's how we made all those weird sounds on that. And you can make it sound like the earth is moving, so we just made a couple of these weird little tracks. We had 3 originally, and we intended for those to be used in different ways. But before everything got sent off to mastering and I had the stems, I imported it into Pro Tools, and these 3 tracks laid over each other, and I hit play, and I thought, that was it. Invisible Conductor was the first track that was written on the album, basically. It's been floating around for... We probably put that song together in the middle of 2012, and it all started off just with a big, simple, heavy riff.
The first riff for Invisible Conductor was, I swear I had it for ages, didn't I? Heavy Riff it was called. All our songs have like the worst working titles. But yeah, I had that riff for ages, for so long, and then it was the kind of thing we had it for so long, you tried to do loads of different things after it, and nothing ends up working. And then Tom was like, I've got this riff. And it worked perfectly, and the song kind of just worked its way from there.
It just makes sense once all the parts are there and you put it all together. It just makes sense the way it's structured. But you know, I think
as songs go on the album, it's got probably references to every type of element that we kind of follow as a band. You know, it's got your sort of really heavy chorus, it's got your like really mellow sort of ending and really harmonic. And it's got that sort of progressive verse as well, isn't it? Really? So yeah, I think as a band, it kind of really highlights everything we're all about.
Yeah, the song is really about. I remember watching this documentary, and stuff I thought about before, and then I watched the Zeitgeist movie. It's about how, especially in America, how these huge corporations own like so much of the wealth. And it's the same with, they have these huge rich families in America, and I'm sure the UK do as well, where I think something ridiculous like 98% of the wealth is owned by 1% of the population. And these people have so much control over everything you do, and you never know who these people are. And that's kind of where the title Invisible Conductor comes from. That's another song that came together really quickly, because it is quite a simple song. But yeah, that song is about friendships, and so I've had like best mates and stuff before that, in school and all that stuff that you're so close with, and you say to each other, yeah, we'll always be best mates, we'll be best mates for life, and then you just, I suppose, grow apart and drift apart from these people. And it's about just thinking about what it was like and getting to that moment of realisation, thinking like, what actually happened? Like, we used to be so close, we used to be, inseparable. That's really what the song's about, and that feeling of that realisation, that point of realisation.
I think, we've only just started playing it live really on the last couple of tours we've been on, and it's been an absolute revelation because, it's one of those songs that has such a dynamic importance to it. It's got your really chilled out, basic, stripped down verse, and you don't see it coming, but when it comes into that heavy bit where it does like a 3 million year long scream, it really does speak a lot about who we are as a band, and I think the whole ending as well, where it just sort of erupts into that outro bit, which is really heavy as well. It's probably one of my favourite songs, if not my favourite.
I think we've all gone through phases where we've all agreed that it is our favourite song on the album. Like, we change our mind on it, but we've all agreed at some point, like, yeah, we love this track. Deep in Disguise is just, I guess, kind of like the pocket rocket. Really, it's not straight up at all, but the riff is dead simple.
I think it was, what's the song called? From Where I Cannot Reach. I had the first riff for Deeper in Disguise, but I was trying to finish that there, From Where I Cannot Reach, and I had that riff there, and it just didn't work. And then I was like, oh, that could start another song. So Deep in Disguise basically started from that riff, and then just all the riffs seemed to come together really quickly.
The main riff, I guess it's a little bit Ruben-esque in the fact that the song is works in a kind of a simple way, but it's definitely still super emotive, and it's dynamic as well, which is obviously our main thing. Like the way it drops down to those really, really low dynamics. With those, it's funny as well because those chords, some of the chords in that section are from songs which we wrote before Left and Orange Perplexed Again, which is really weird. Like Oliver just had these chords, and he brought the riff back in from that, and that's some of the stuff that we were writing probably 4 or 5 years ago, like at the very, very start of the band.
And that song is really about like the bullshit celebrity culture and how people will, well, not all people, but how a lot of people will just sell their souls basically for 10 minutes of fame, 15 minutes of fame. And I find it also fake, and especially now with social media, a lot of it seems to be just really fake, and there's people that just seem to have a different persona to who they really are, and they'll kind of change who they are to appease other people. That's where the title Deeper in Disguise came from. Yeah, from Where I Cannot Reach, I've got this pedal board that it's basically a big controller, and I've got my 10 pedals, and they all go into this big one controller, this pedal board, and I just switched all my pedals on at the same time, and I just did this chord. It's the first chord, but I don't know why I played that chord. I just played it. I've never played it in my life before. Played that chord with all the pedals on, and I was like, that sounds sick. So,
well, massively lucky.
Yeah, just got so lucky, and then I remember just moving that. We do that quite a lot. We have a shape, and then we'll just move it up. So I moved it up to the 12th fret, and it just worked. It sounded really cool, and the song's so simple. So I had that for the verse and the intro, and then the chorus was easy. It was just a song which came together so quickly.
But yeah, it's all about that sort of weird swelling effect that you get from that pedal. So, and it's just a really super simple song. Like we went for a really dry drum sound and just had the guitars kind of a little bit like acidy, proggy, psychedelia sort of vibe. But yes,
it's quite unassuming as well. I think.
Yeah.
When we recorded it in the studio, we pretty much had, I'd say, 40 or 50% of different songs before we actually went in and did it, and then it got changed a lot because it wasn't quite coming across in the way that we wanted it to when we were recording it. But then I think it's just the whole simplicity of that effect,
yeah,
with nothing but just really dry drums, really unassuming, and then obviously the heavy bit comes in, and it's kind of, to anybody that's just listening to us as a band for the very first time, you would never see that coming. And I think that really epitomises where we sort of come from directionally.
The song's about looking into space and just feeling really insignificant. If you think about how vast the universe, even our solar system, like how huge it is, and at the moment obviously humans haven't found any life, and you just think, it makes you think, like, what's the point and what else is out there? It just makes you feel so insignificant. I suppose that's a negative way to think about it. Sometimes you just got to think it is what it is. But it just does make you feel so insignificant when you look up. As amazing it is looking at the stars and stuff, and you think this is just insane and awe-inspiring, but at the same time it is scary, and you just think, like, what are we? We're nothing. We could just be in a huge black hole. So yeah, that's really what it's about, and I think the title From Where I Cannot Reach, that kind of says it all. But I usually with songs I try to kind of keep the song meaning a bit vague so people can get their own interpretation on it. Now I'm just spilling everything.